There are certain structures that we are very accustomed to, like a codex or an accordion book. But sometimes, artists' ideas are physically reflected in the way a reader opens and moves through the book. Let's see how this unrolls in today's books, Reliquary by Keri Miki-Lani Schroeder and Unpacking by Bel Duffy. Keri Miki-Lani Schroeder is an artist and writer based in San Antonio, Texas. Her prints, sculptural artist books, and found objects explore themes including ecology and environmental concerns, memory and mourning, relics and artifacts, as well as the anomalous and paranormal. She regularly explores unusual and inventive structures to examine objects and landscapes as metaphors for human experience. Reliquary is the first book that Schroeder published under her imprint, Coyote Bones Press. Based on a rolling book structure she learned from artist Julie Chen, Reliquary unfolds panel by panel. Small objects are encased in boxes. Their formal, almost ceremonial presentation elevates them from something commonplace and discarded to an object preserved with reverence. The panels between the objects have text written by Schroeder. We are immediately brought into loss, grief, and the relationship between an object and memory. As we open the book more, the text questions the effects of time on our mourning and remembrances. Schroeder collected all of the objects in Reliquary from ghost towns and trash dumps in the desert of southern Nevada. Born and raised in Las Vegas, she has strong memories of exploring the surrounding desert as a child with her father. She explained to me that he passed away while she was still young, and she associates this loss and connection with the desert. Gold-stamped symbols are also revealed as the book opens. Their geometries and shapes refer directly to the relics in the book. Schroeder explained to me that these sigils, or signs, were inspired by alchemical symbols and trail markers. She also drew from elements of hobo code, a system of markings that communicated things like a safe place to sleep or whether the local water was good or bad. Schroeder told me that she is interested in the idea of secret or coded maps guiding us through harsh landscapes. The sigils she designed, revealed one by one as we unfurl each page, lead us through this path of grief in the desert. The action of unrolling page by page slows down my reading more than a standard page turn. The centered objects and sigils demand attention. As Reliquary unfolds, the text panels also get thinner. A physical result of the book's structure, these narrowing panels reflect how our memories thin and fade over time. The last compartment is different. Instead of a prominently displayed object, a photo of the desert is obscured in the box. At the heart of the book, this must be the most important thing. I sense fogged memory, but also perhaps Schroeder protecting this place. We are not allowed in the way we were with the other objects. She keeps this one close to herself. The final question asks, how long before I do not remember why I felt compelled to save them in the first place? This protective book structure, now fully open, feels vulnerable. These are objects of veneration, but they're so mundane, things that have been used and tossed out. But that's part of grief, isn't it? Cherishing everything someone we lost ever touched, wanting their magic and vitality to live on in physical relics. Carefully closing the book, rolling it back on itself, the desert at the core is wrapped in all these layers of protection. A hedge against time and the inevitable decay of memory. Bel Duffy is a genderqueer book artist and metalsmith based in Portland, Oregon. Through letterpress, bookbinding, and jewelry, their work explores the activation of art through the human body. Unpacking is about distance and movement, both physical and emotional. The book begins with instructions and a sense of familiar repetition. Next, a list of common things you'd find in a home. The paragraphs reflect instructions and even reminders to the reader. When Duffy made this book, they were in a long-distance relationship, frequently moving back and forth between places. There's a sensitivity to the changes one feels, moving from living alone into a space shared with a partner. There are annoyances and discomforts, like remembering how to share a bed, and also instructions that dive deeper into a shifted state of a relationship and the inevitable bumpiness of such a transition. Interspersed through the instructions and lists, Duffy includes panels with colorful and highly textured surfaces. They created this imagery by using a brayer to apply ink onto carved linoleum blocks, overlapping the rough edges of the brayered colors. I often think of a circle as a balanced and whole shape. The strong marks and colors in these circles suggest to me some of the negotiation and search for balance that comes when two people move in together. Reading Unpacking is a kinesthetic experience as well. It's not always immediately obvious which way the book opens next. The stumbles I feel when I try to open the book one way, only to realize it opens another way, reflect the big and small challenges and questions that come up when combining your life into someone else's space. Duffy was inspired to create this book while working as a teaching assistant for artist Julie Chen at Penland School of Craft in North Carolina. Duffy became fixated on the idea of a box that keeps unrolling, interested in how it would pace the reader's interaction with the content. Each time I open a new page, everything I've opened so far remains sitting on the table. I don't know where this big shape is going, and I have to move the book over and over so that as it gets bigger, it doesn't extend off the table. This shifting in particular feels very analogous to the negotiations and adjustments we make when unpacking and moving in with someone. As we get closer to the center, the tiles are getting smaller. The objects listed become more personal and intimate. Time is passing, and the instructions give way to a feeling of comfort and established routine. Eventually, we get to the innermost page of the book. The last panel feels almost shocking or disappointing. We just got comfortable, and now it's over? When fully open, the spiral shape of the book echoes that in Duffy's long-distance relationship, they repeatedly moved in and out, packing and unpacking over and over. We too must painstakingly pack up everything we've already unpacked. Closed back up, The uncovered boards are like a cardboard box, closed up tight, ready to be unpacked again, somewhere else. When a book opens in an unusual way, our minds and bodies are heightened to the experience. Reliquary and Unpacking both use distinct rolling book structures to mirror experiences of coming together and moving apart. They remind us of passing time and that life is always unfolding before us.